Hey, who's telling y'all to doing?
Good morning, folks. It is 8:35 on this fine Saturday morning. Beautiful bridge crossing here. Just warming the car up because I'm taking the youngin' over there to take his driver test. I don't know who's more nervous, me or him, but pretty excited for him. And of course, you know, there'll be a little bit of wait time, just a little bit. And I don't know, maybe I can speak on some things, right?
I'm over here drawing swastikas on guitars.
Oh, calm down. It's going to be okay, guys. I promise. Far up by racing a Honda, boy. Come on, bro. You didn't really think it was... Those poor Honda guys. And this is a V6 Charger, too. Poor guy. Poor little fella. Speaking of poor little fellas, I'm going to talk about... You guys ever carried a ladder before? I mean, Adam, have you ever put a battery in a drill before? Or a blade in a reciprocating saw? Or as people in my neck of the woods like to call it, a zawzall? Or a quarter in a slot machine? Or a code in a combination realtor's lockbox? Did you do anything?
What's his name? Rocky Luciano.
It's uncomfortable, isn't it? And a lot of people feel it. It just doesn't land the same anymore. And we all remember when it used to be different. And before all these sensitive people get going, I mean, most of you already know what time it is. I don't hold back for anybody. I keep it 100 no matter who it is. But there's the sensitive ones out there that'll be like, man, you're just picking on Ryan. You're always picking on Ryan. If you remember right, you remember when Adam's goofy ass himself threatened Kurt and his family and then was talking to Ryan saying that, explaining to him that you have to have cardio to fight well, and then ran out of breath mid-sentence. Y'all remember that. I'll play it if you don't. You got to have cardio, man, because if you don't get knocked out right away or don't knock the other guy out right away, kaboom. All I do is run and run and run and run and run. So my cardio is on point and I got good breathing, brother. Dude, you were out of breath talking shit to this man.
We talked about Tom for 3 minutes. I was there for an hour and a half.
Don't give me that, man. Y'all are so sensitive and...
Y'all see that little lady on the internet being like, hey guys, all their disses to Upchurch is like real weird.
Yeah, Ryan, that's actually who I'm talking about. And of course we know who she is. You've been promoting her more than you have Just Trey lately. I don't know if you realize that or not, but, you know, she supports you. She's gassed up. She's Team Ryan, so of course you are. And, you know, I get it. You know, use a female a little bit sometimes because it seems more genuine. But she's crazy and she's looking for an argument, right? And it couldn't have been no more evident than the live chat yesterday and old Snowman Reacts, which shout out Snowman Reacts. I actually enjoy him. He's very entertaining to me. I know Triple T has a problem with him, but whatever. I don't care. It's his problem, not mine. But I'm in there and I'm congratulating old Snowman Reacts on however he managed to get 16 Christmas trees decorated, lit, and look pretty nice. And in the middle of saying that, I said, man, I ain't not seen your 16 Christmas trees, man. Your poor wife. Which most normal people who aren't shit stirrers, and on the let's fight anybody who might have a truth to say about Ryan, would have looked at that and said, yeah, man, it must be quite upkeep to keep, you know, several trees up. But not your girl, bruh. Not your girl Ashley, who was like, oh my God, what are you doing? You picking on his wife now? Gotcha, man? That's crazy. And somebody else in there was like, yeah, you gotcha, man, picks on women. You guys are exhausting. But let's get to your captain and talk about this reason. Oh, man. So Adam finally responded. And I'll spare you guys because you guys have already seen it. But he responded after, you know, what seems like almost a year, and at least, especially in the last 6 months, Upchurch has really ramped up the shit talking and, you know, going after Adam, constantly has something to say about Adam and what he's doing, making fun of him, not really saying much about music, and oddly enough, never really made a rap song about Adam, which Adam seems to, you know, want to drop hints that there's a reason behind that, but I don't know, never really responded to Jam Wayne either, but I was an asshole for saying that was a decent diss song too, but whatever. Again, everybody said it. No, what do you know about music? Gotcha, man. Nothing. What I'm here to talk about today is not only Ryan's response to it, but how quick he responded.
Jesus Christ. What in the fuck is wrong with this guy, bro?
Ryan Upchurch, that he's going to end your career.
And was it any good?
Man, look, I've been pretty mad before, but I ain't never been so mad. I was like, I like dudes now, bro.
So yeah, seriously, let's get into it. Let's listen to what Ryan Upchurch's response was to Adam. And again, like I said, I know there's already several people right now that are so fired up, can't believe I'm making this video and saying what I'm saying, and are going to claim that I'm attacking Ryan Upchurch. And I took a screenshot of how many subscribers I got. I know you're going to get all pissy and hit that unsubscribe button. That's fine. That's fine. I don't care. Gee whiz. You know, if I was really attacking this man, I'd be saying a lot of personal stuff. You know, like, yeah, like that guy does. You know, because a lot of people, and I've never even said this, but a lot of people are giving me a lot of inside information, and that's a good indication that your crew's kind of falling apart, right? That things around you aren't doing so well when your inner circle are reaching out to people like me and to tell all your information because they can't say it themselves. And don't worry, I know a couple of you puckered, didn't you? A couple of you like just sit up at the edge of your chair. I know, gotcha. Nah, dude, I told you I'm a solid dude, man. And some of you out there have told me things for years now. You know you are. Well, maybe I might as well just go ahead and... Nah. I just like messing with you a little bit. I guarantee you anything right now, my phone's ringing as you guys are watching this. No, I ain't gonna say anything, and that's the thing. If I was, and that's the reason, and that's the difference, and that's what I've been saying for years about old Turkey Boy, is he claims to love Ryan and have his best interest in heart. I don't care. I'm neutral. But even so, even being neutral and not really caring or loving this guy or idolizing this guy, I still ain't willing to say personal things that could harm his career, harm anything, you know, like get him in any kind of a trouble. And it's crazy to think, especially some of the people who reached out to me. And like I said, I mean, if you're doing people right in your inner circle that are close to you, if you're acting right and treating them right, most of the time they don't run out and do that sort of thing. So now that I got that out of the way, and I reduced it from 37 people that are going to say that I'm hating on Ryan down to about 27, and then, you know, there's still about 10 or 13 of them that are going to unsubscribe again, but then they'll resubscribe the next funny video or vlog video I make. You guys are super stable. So let's get into this, man.
Nobody fucking cares, man.
You do. Look how fast you responded. I mean, say you care without saying you care, right? Oh, and I should make this disclaimer real quick, too. All these videos of Ryan Upchurch's Instagram that I'm sharing in this video, I had to make an alternate account to get because he blocked me because of how thick his skin is.
We can't just sit around all day and be like, man, dude, Adam Calhoun's problems, right?
So, yeah, you care, dude. And you care so much to respond so quickly. You remember the days whenever Ryan Upchurch would just sit back and let somebody say something and have a slow, calculated response that was really good, or make the person think that they weren't even relevant enough for a response. So now we fire off from the hip like Dagburn, right? He said, what? Anna, have you ever even had a stepladder or something? You're short. Did you know that? What are you doing, dude? That's what I mean. It doesn't land the same. And I'm being serious. I'm not being condescending or disrespectful when I say it's kind of sad, man. Like, there's a lot of people that I've talked to that have followed this whole saga, and they're like, man, It's sad, bro. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to see somebody fall from grace that fucking far. You know what I mean? Like, I like to see people trip over a little speed bump or something, but I don't like to see somebody fall all the way down a cliff. You know what I mean? What all did you say, buddy? Let's hear it.
We get it. You're mad that I got a deeper voice than you and a cooler voice than you and a sexier voice than you even when I'm talking being goofy and you ain't got a southern accent. It's not my fault. Go fucking holler at Jesus.
What? What? I'm not. Let's see here. I'm not the referee. I'm definitely not the scorekeeper. I'm not any gatekeeper of any. Hey, is that cool or not cool? But man, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with me that you don't get a single cool point for that one, buddy. Good boy. Let's break that down real quick. For him to say that means a couple things, right? It could quite possibly be one of the weirdest things I've ever heard, and it was right off the hip, right? Just within an hour after. So that means that perhaps that's how Ryan views things. Maybe that's why he thinks his Holler Boy song is so successful. Not the lyrics, not the meaning behind the song, but how sexy he sang it, right? How sexy his voice was. Them holler boys, sexy voices over here. Or even worse, maybe Be Loose. Maybe his manager was like, man, don't even trip, Bubba. You know what his problem is? He realizes that he don't sound as sexy as you do. Yeah, no problem, bro. Anytime, man. Anytime you need to pick me up, holla at me. What? So this grown man, you both are grown men, and this grown man finally responded to you and said, you think you can ruin my career? Well, bring it on, man. Ruin it. But other than that, stop fucking with me, man. And you're like, we get it. You don't sound as sexy as I do. Even when I'm kidding, I'm sexy.
I mean, y'all ain't doing nothing but fucking stretching your ball sack out, walking around the house all itchy and scratchy. Just stretching that thing out, dude. Like Stretch Armstrong. I'm over here like, I done made 3 albums that ain't out yet. Kalani's finna pull up. A bunch of artists finna pull up. We finna make a couple more albums. While y'all over there like, look at my balls. They stretch like really far.
It's at this point I'm realizing, even though I've already cut away several clips out of Upchurch's response to Adam that had gay undertones in it, that I just ain't able to cut all the gay away. So now he's talking about, and projection has its way of manifesting itself, right? He literally says, we're just walking around the house as he's walking around the house. I found that kind of funny. But just before this, and another part of the clip that I cut out, he says it's all about the fans. And you talking about those one people that are trying to listen to your music, but they got to dodge the conspiracy videos and dodge the, this kid ain't real video, and not to mention bob and weave between a light bulb lights up when I walk out in the snow and stick it to my forehead videos. Because it's all about the fans, and the music. But yeah, I didn't realize there was that much gay wrapped up into this. That's another thing. So, and people tend to show you how their brain works. So he thinks that people are jealous of his sexy voice. He made a mention earlier he was so mad that it turned him homosexual, and then he said something about a dick in his face that he wasn't going to do anything with. That was one of the ones I cut out, by the way. You're more than welcome to go back and listen to it yourself, but I'm not interested. But now his vision is Adam Calhoun walking around his house, tugging on his sack, trying to stretch it, in his words, like Stretch Armstrong. I gotta tell you, man, that statement's a lot of things. It's really funny to a lot of people, I bet, but one thing it ain't is making any sense, Bubba. But hey, when you shoot from the hip, that's the kind of thing that happens, ain't it? You know what I'm saying?
Man, we got platinums in the floor. We got golds in the floor. I mean, come on, look. Platinum's in the very back, dude. Like, what are y'all doing?
If we're scoring this fight point for point, you lose a point on that one, actually, because he already mentioned the fact that you had those plaques and that you're going to try to use it as some sort of rebuttal, and so does your people. And he actually said that so does Diddy. So, yeah, that round goes to Adam.
What are y'all doing?
The record, that was his playing around voice, which is still sexy.
Is something in the water over there? Check the frogs, because I heard this thing about frogs.
I know what you're thinking. No way that's another gay reference, and I don't think so either, but I'm going to check my freezer here to see. Bad news.
Adam over here fucking making conspiracy theories because he can't. He's like, dude, I'm trying to light years ahead of me. I don't know what to fucking do. And somebody over there's like, make a conspiracy theory, Adam. And Adam's brain like, I could do that. I could do that. No, you can't. You ain't smart enough to make a conspiracy theory, mother.
Yep, that's right. You already know how I do. I saved the best for last. I figured this little internet thing out. Over the years, I've gotten better. You heard that right. A little bit more projecting, a little bit more trying to put his own thought process and inner circle planning out on somebody else. So he just said that somebody over there in Adam's camp said, dude, you ought to make a conspiracy theory up. And to which he says, Adam ain't smart enough to do that. He thinks his brain is smart enough to do it, but he ain't smart enough to do it. Now, why would he say that? That hasn't been the go-to lately, has it there, Up Church? Making up conspiracy theories to sell albums? Is that what he's trying to tell us? And it's awful weird to say that somebody who's never been intertwined in a conspiracy theory at all is... And that's kind of crazy to say coming from you, right? The guy who's been wrapped up in so many conspiracy theories and so much weird shit in the last 2.5 years, and so much so has a pending $30 million lawsuit over it, to sit there and say that somebody else ain't smart enough to come up with a conspiracy theory. Number one, that's weird to begin with. But number two, that the fact that you even think that that's their plan over at their camp, they're trying to figure that out. They're trying to figure out how to make a conspiracy theory. But in your words, Adam, his brain isn't smart enough to do it. Hate to break this to you. It's going to be kind of tough. But generally people who are conspiracy theorists, who believe in wacky conspiracies, tend to be, the trend has been, they're not that smart themselves. You know, hence conspiracy theory. They can't just accept things for the way they are. So they think there has to be some sort of conspiracy to it, right? There has to be something deeper than this. Why do we pay taxes? There's got to be something else to it. There's got to be aliens coming out of the ocean and telling our government to charge us more money. The earth is flat. It's just a couple. They're not brilliant people. But how odd is it that your response, off the hip, don't want to let you guys forget that. I think it's very important, and it's very telling where somebody is in their career, and that's why I say it's sad. None of this stuff lands the same as it used to anymore. What he used to say had so much weight to it, and so much power, and so much influence, and it was, like I said, it was planned, it was calculated, it was, you know, it was all those things that somebody who isn't losing their touch is able to do. But now this is just an off-the-hip response, just projecting all your crap about how you think he's mad that your voice is sexier, and how there was all these gay undertones. And you just, you know, that weapon thing, I'll admit, it was kind of funny when you first started. It's a little played out. But then all the way to the very end of it, where you're like, I bet people over there in Adam's camp are trying to come up with conspiracy theories, but just ain't smart enough. Not like me. You know what I'm saying? And let me end with this, and I will say this, that your inner circle buddy told me, that they're trying to claim now that Ryan's whole light bulb stuck to his forehead, lips, fingers, wherever else they stuck it off camera, lighting up thing, was all it was a big plan, right? It was a big plan to see who people were and how to move forward with people. The people who believed it were, you know, he wasn't going to talk to him anymore. The people who questioned it, he realized were stupid, and they were putting them on all these categories and percentage-wise of which one that... Stop it, dude. Stop it. It was a ploy. It was basically another conspiracy theory. It was another way to get people talking, get people fired up, you know, because especially when you make it a video and go, people are talking about there's a battery in this. What are you guys talking about? Why don't y'all go out in the snow and light it up? And you're just getting people fired up to get more people talking about you, about how stupid this guy is, that he doesn't realize there's a battery in it. Or, like I said, the worst part would be that you actually believed it. But, you know, when somebody like me gets a chance to talk to somebody that hangs out with you every day, I'm like, did this idiot really believe that there wasn't a battery in it? I had to know, you know what I mean? I'm terrible, I get it. But yeah, it was a conspiracy, and it got people talking. People was fired up about it, and then, you know, maybe that's what he's trying to say after all. But this one's weird, man. And another thing, Ashley, you said security camera. You said it is perfectly normal for a fella to have a security camera in his house.
That sounds a lot more like Diddy, to be honest, than somebody with a security camera in their house.
Credibility's hard to come by these days, ain't it? I'm not saying that I'm going to be back to this. I honestly don't get any joy out of this, but I waited a couple of days after it came out to make a calculated response. I'm an asshole sometimes.